All right. Good morning, everyone. All right, we are good to go. Let's see. All right, welcome to Gentle Yoga. Good morning, happy Sunday, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. My name is Lindsay Silbert, and I'm coming to you from Air Clubs, and I'm going to take you through a 45-minute gentle yoga class. So I'm not going to be using any props. I've just got my mat rolled out behind me, so we are going to get started on our backs. And again, you won't need any props. If you do like to practice with blocks or strap, you can go ahead and grab that. All you really need is mat, and you really don't even need a mat. So let's come on down onto our backs. We'll get started there today. So let me just make sure I've got my camera all set up so you guys can see me. There we go. Let me just fix this. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to start on our backs. And let's come on down into any comfortable position here. And if it feels good on the body, you can walk the feet a little bit wider than hips distance apart, and then let the knees fall in towards each other. And then rest the arms by the sides, palms face up, and allow the knees to just knock in. And we'll just begin to connect in here this morning. So again, this is a gentle yoga flow. We're just gonna get some movement in the body, work some flexibility, a little bit of strength, connect with our breath. So as you come into the pose, begin to close the eyes and feel the body sink down into the mat. Allow everything to be heavy and soft. Relaxing through the forehead. Releasing the jaw. Allow the shoulders to slide away from the ears. Hips are heavy and relaxed. Just notice if there's any tension in the body that you're holding on to. And allow any of those tight or sticky areas to soften with the breath. And then begin to come into your breath practice. So just notice where you feel the breath the most in the body. And watch the breath as it flows in and out. Begin to deepen the breathing. Slow it down and smooth it out. Allow the belly to rise with the inhale. Soften and sink on the exhale. And just noticing whenever the mind starts to wander, always bringing it back to the breath, back to the sensations in the body. And I invite you to take a moment here before we begin moving to set your intention for today's practice. Maybe your reason for coming to your mat. Any and all intentions are welcome. And we'll be here for about 3 more cycles of breath. And then gently blink the eyes open, slowly draw the knees in, reach around, grab onto the shins, and rock yourself a little side to side. Head, neck, and shoulders relaxed. Begin to circle the knees in one direction, massaging out the lower back. And then change directions with those circles. And then we'll plant the feet back down on the mat. We'll warm the spine up with some gentle bridges. So feet flat, walk the heels in so you can gently graze the backs of the heels with the fingertips. Arms alongside and feet are about hips distance apart and parallel. Spread the toes and root down through all 4 corners of the feet. Then as you inhale, you'll press into the heels and lift the hips up. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale, tilt the tailbone up towards the sky, lift on up. As you exhale, slowly roll it down. Keep the neck nice and long. Inhale to lift up, maybe a little bit higher. As you exhale, slowly lower down. Keep all four corners of the knees pointing straight forward. We'll add the arms this time. So as you inhale, lift the hips up and arms reach overhead, palms face in. And then as you exhale, slowly lower the hips and slowly release the arms back by the sides. So keep this going with the pace of the breath. Inhale to open the front of the body as you stretch the arms overhead. As you exhale, slowly lower the hips, arms back by the sides. Let's do two more like this. Inhale to open the front of the body. Exhale, slowly roll it down. Last one. Exhale down. Now we're going to do two more, adding a little bit of core work into it. So as you inhale, reach the arms overhead, lift the hips up. And this time, as you exhale, we'll slowly lower down. Once the lower back presses down, we're going to lift head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, open the heart, reach the arms overhead, and then slowly exhale, lower down, lift it up, and we'll hold here. Now options, you can keep the fingertips long, you can interlace the fingers behind the head, and then maybe if you want to intensify, you extend the legs forward. We'll take 3 breaths here. Knees can be bent. You can also have those legs in tabletop or keep the feet flat on the floor. Last 2 breaths. Last one here. Pressing the back into the mat, belly firm. Good. Hug the knees in. Rock yourself a little side to side. Excellent. And then place the feet back on the mat. We'll come into a half happy baby. So keep the left leg down. Bring the right leg into a happy baby. So reach inside and either grab onto the outer edge or hook the big toe as you draw the right knee down by the rib cage. And you can allow this left leg to kind of flop out to the side, keeping the left hip grounded down. Take a couple deep breaths here. Soften the shoulders. And coming right into our hip stretch, thread the needle. So we'll bring that left knee back up towards the ceiling, cross the right ankle up and over that left thigh. Gently draw the right knee forward, and if you want a little more, you can begin to bring the legs in, grabbing onto the back of that left thigh or front of the left shin. Take a few breaths. Just notice what can you relax in the body, letting something soften. One more full deep breath here. Release that. Place both feet back down on the floor and we'll come into half happy baby on the left. So right leg is down, draw the left knee in, reach inside, grab onto the foot or hook the big toe. You can also hold onto the ankle or the shin. And then allow the right knee to just fall out to the right. Keeping that right hip grounded down and deeply breathing into that left hip. Transitioning into our figure 4, thread the needle stretch. So point the right knee back up to the ceiling or the sky, and then we'll hook the left thigh up and over, left ankle over the right thigh. And then maybe drawing the legs in if that feels appropriate on the body, or keeping that right foot on the mat. And breathing here. Sending that breath to wherever you feel the stretch. Deepest breath. And then hug the knees back in. And if it's okay on the spine, we'll begin to rock forward and backwards. Now, if this does not feel good on the back, you'll just roll yourself off to one side. Otherwise, we'll take a couple more rocks here, just massaging out the spine. We're ultimately going to be coming into a tabletop, so let's take one more. And then we'll come on up, cross the shins, roll over the legs, and come onto hands and knees. We'll move through a couple rounds of cat-cow. Spread the fingers out, stack the wrists right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips, and as you inhale, drop the belly to arch the spine. And then as you exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, pull the belly in and up. Take about 3 more of these on your own. Just slowly moving with your own pace of breath. Inhales to open the front of the body and exhales to stretch through the back body. Last cycle wherever you are. Excellent. All right, we'll come to a neutral spine. I'm actually going to flip around, turn this way to demo this. All right, let's tuck the right toes, send the right leg back, and then we'll lift the right leg up from the inner thigh. So if you look back at those toes, make sure all 5 toes point straight down, and then take a moment here to firm the belly. So the back lower floating ribs are going to press up towards the ceiling, and then maybe you extend the left arm forward. We'll hold here for 3 breaths. Neck stays long. Imagine like you're being pulled in opposite directions. Keep the right ankle flexed and imagine like you're pressing that leg into a wall behind you. Last cycle here. All right, set the left hand down. Set the right toes down at the back of the mat, and then we're going to swing the left leg back behind us, and we're going to come into our gate pose. So we're going to come up to stand on the left knee. Right leg is down, so right foot is flat on the mat. We'll inhale, reach the arms up. Take a big breath here to lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, slide the right hand down the right leg and reach the left arm up and over. Take a few breaths into your side stretch. Gaze up if that feels okay on the neck. And then we'll drop the left hand down. Reach the right arm up and then right arm over the right ear. Now keep the right foot planted for a moment and feel the stretch all the way from the outer edge of that foot through the right fingertips, and then you can keep that foot down, or maybe you decide to lift it up, flexing the ankle. 2 breaths here. Doing what feels good on the body, always taking any modifications you need. And then we'll slowly come on back down into our tabletop, so swing that left leg back. Set the right knee down. Let's take 2 cycles of cat-cow here before we move on to the other side. So inhale to arch the spine. Exhale to round. Inhale, pull the heart forward as you gaze up. Exhale, press the floor away. Return to a neutral spine. And then we'll tuck the left toes, send the left leg back, lift from the inner thigh, so again, glance back. Make sure all 5 toes point directly down. Now again, belly firm, really press those ribs up to engage the core, and then send the right arm forward, only if that feels good. Gaze is down to maintain length through the back of the neck. And that left foot drives back as you reach the right fingertips forward. Breathing here and lengthening. One more breath. Lift what you've got. All right, I'll be demoing with my back towards you for this side. So right hand comes back down. Left toes come down to the back of the mat. Swing the right leg back behind you. We're coming up to our gate pose on the other side. So we're going to come to stand on the right knee. Sorry, I got my back to you. All right, let's lift the arms up. Big inhale, and as you exhale, slide the left hand down the left leg. Right arm reaches up and over. Breathing here. And that stretch, maybe even through a little bit of that IT band on the outside of that right leg. All the way through the right fingertips. One more breath on this side. All right, coming into our other side. So right hand down, left arm reaches straight up, and then left arm over the left ear. Now again, ground the left foot for a moment. Feel the stretch all the way down that leg, and then option to lift the leg up. Flexing that ankle or keeping that left foot planted. 2 breaths. Last one here. Excellent. Come on back to tabletop. Walk the hands one handprint forward. Shift the shoulders right over the wrist. Coming into a plank pose. You are welcome to tuck the toes, lift the knees, come into full plank, or just stay on plank on the knees. 1 breath here. belly firm, spread the fingers out, and then inhale, shift the shoulders forward. Exhale, slowly lower down. Let's rest here on the belly, untuck the toes. We'll cactus the arms out to the side. Should your forehead come to the mat, press the tops of the feet into the mat. As you inhale, peel the heart up and lift the arms up as well, baby cobra. As you exhale, lower down. We'll do 4 more of these. Inhale, peel up, moving with the breath. Spread the elbows away from each other. Exhale to lower. Keep going, last 3. Inhale up for 2. Last one here. And then hands by the lower ribs. Press up into a low cobra. Big breath in. As you exhale, come into a child's pose. And for this child's pose, bring the big toes together. Walk the knees wide. You can even bring them the width of the mat. And then send the hips back to the heels as you melt the forehead and the chest down. We'll take 5 deep cycles of breath. Notice where the mind is. Always returning it to the breath. Last cycle here. Come on up, we're going to make our way into a gentle downward dog. So bring the knees back to hips distance, and we'll tuck the toes. Lift the knees, lift the hips, and press back. And let's take a wide down dog. So walk the feet to the edges of the mat. Walk the hands to the edges of the mat as well. You can even grab the sides of the sticky mat. And then with the soft bend in the knees, really press the hips back, sloping them up. And then begin to pedal the legs out. Do 1 knee bend as you straighten through the opposite leg. Move a little side to side here. Relax the neck. And breathe. You can stay in this wide down dog or walk the feet back to hips distance, walk the hands back to shoulders distance, and come into a more traditional variation of the pose. Pushing out of the shoulders, heels draw towards the mat, though they never have to touch. We'll take 1 more breath here. And then as you inhale, look forward to the hands. As you exhale, bend the knees and slowly walk the feet up. As you come to the top of the mat, parallel the feet. Inhale, come to a halfway lift. We'll hold here for a moment. Bring the shoulders on the back, and then we'll interlace the fingers. Have a soft bend in the knees here. As you inhale, reach the knuckles back, and then as you exhale, fold in. We'll bend the knees a lot, especially if the backs of the legs are tight. Tuck the chin to release the neck. And if this does not feel good on the shoulders, you can just release the arms down. Take a breath or 2 here. Release the interlace. We'll inhale into a flat back once again. And then we'll interlace with the other thumb on top, so 1 finger over, and then exhale, fold back in. Maybe straighten the legs a little bit more, or not. Do what feels best in the body. Again, bend the knees to relax the lower back. 1 more breath here. And then we'll release the interlace and slowly roll all the way up to stand. Let the head and neck come up last. And then bring the shoulders up to the ears, releasing down the back. We'll find our mountain pose at the top of the mat. I'm gonna kind of switch sides, face this way again. Feels a little more natural for some reasons, how I normally practice. All right, so take a moment in your Tadasana. Make sure the feet are aligned. Spread the toes out. Shoulders down the back. Firm the thighs. Firm the belly. Lift the crown of the head up. Take a full cycle of breath here. And we'll inhale, reach the arms out, around, and up. As you exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. As you exhale, fold right back in. Inhale, root through the feet, rise to stand, come all the way up. Exhale, palms connect in front of the heart. We'll do that short little flow one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, fold right back over the legs. Inhale, rise to stand, reach the arms up. Exhale, pull into the heart. We'll move on from here. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, fold in half. Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, we're going to step the left leg back, lower the left knee down, and we'll come into our low lunge. So walk the hands up that right thigh. You can keep the hands resting or extend the arms all the way up. 3 breaths. Shoulders down the back. Heart lifts up. Firm the belly. And if the arms are lifted, energize through those fingers as you soften the shoulders. And we'll bring the hands down. Now we're going to come into a high lunge right from here. So tuck the left toes, lift the left knee. Make sure your feet are hips distance apart. Bring the hands to the hips and just pull the right hip back and then send the arms back. Now firm the belly, really use the belly here, and then we'll slowly, slowly come all the way up into a high lunge. So bend this left knee for a moment, arms reach up, tilt the pelvis forward, firm the belly, and then maybe you straighten through that back leg, right hip back once again. Breathe here. Keep the arms up or rest the palms together in front of the heart. Last breath. All right, palms together in front of the heart now. If they're not already there, we're going to straighten the right leg and we're going to come into our warrior 2. So spin the left foot flat, heel to the right foot over to the left, so your heel to arch alignment, and then we'll sink down into the right leg and come into our warrior 2. Just a breath or two here. I know this right leg is probably getting a little bit warm. Soften the shoulders, broaden through the collarbones, and then we'll work the right leg straight into our triangle pose. So right leg comes to straight, little micro bend in the knee though. As you inhale, lengthen forward. As you exhale, bring the right hand down, left arm reaches up. Take a few breaths here. Hug the right hip into the midline of the body. Relax the head back. And if you want to grab a side stretch, last breath, left arm over the left ear. Slowly come all the way up. Hands to the hips. Now parallel the feet, so spin the right toes in. As you inhale, open the heart, gaze up. As you exhale, forward fold. Bring the fingertips down under the shoulders. Inhale to lengthen the spine. As you exhale, maybe fold in. Walk the hands back if that feels good. Tuck the chin, release the neck. And shift the weight a little bit forward. Take a few breaths here. Walk the fingertips under the shoulders once again. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, we're just going to walk the hands over to the right. Spin the right toes out. We're going to come up on the left toes. We'll come in for an easy twist. So facing the front of the mat once again. Place the left hand down and reach the right arm up. You can also set the left knee down. Take the rotation to the upper back. Stamp all 4 corners of the right foot down. Belly firm. One more breath. And then return the right hand down. We'll step back to a plank pose. So right foot meets the left foot. Again, option to set the knees down or keep those knees lifted. Let's hold here. Belly firm, heart forward. One more breath. All right, knees up or down. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower to the belly. Inhale, open the heart, cobra or maybe upward dog. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Take a few breaths. Inhale, gaze forward, slight bend in the knees, and then as you exhale, feet to the hands, come on back to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, root down to reach up. And exhale, palms connect in front of the heart. All right, left side, I'm going to turn back this way, so I'm facing you all. All right, here we go. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, find length through the spine. And then as you exhale, the right leg will step back this time. Lower the right knee down, and we'll work into our low lunge. So walk the hands up that left thigh. Shift the hips forward, and then again, hands stay down or reach the arms up. Shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. And lift the heart up as you breathe. Bring the hands back down to the mat. Tuck the right toes if they're not already. Lift the right knee up. All right, so we're coming all the way up once again, so make sure you're not on a tightrope. Feet hips distance apart. And just for a moment, reach the arms back behind. Use the belly to support you here. And then we'll slowly bend that right knee and come all the way up into a high crescent lunge. So with that back knee bent, tilt the pelvis, firm the belly, and then maybe you straighten through that leg. Take a few breaths here. Left hip rotates back as the right hip and rib cage rotate forward. Energize through the fingertips, or you've got the hands together in front of the heart, whatever works best for you. Another deep, full breath here. And then palms together in front of the heart. We'll straighten the left leg, spin the right foot flat, and then heel toe the left foot over to the right, setting up for our warrior two. So bend that left knee, sink down into it, shoulders soft, heart lifts up, gazes forward. Just a breath here. And then work that left leg straight, triangle pose. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, left arm down, right arm reaches up, left hip hugs in. As you find a lot of space from the left hip through that armpit. And gaze can be wherever's most comfortable on the neck. Stamp all four corners of both feet down. The last breath, maybe grab the side stretch, right arm over the right ear. And then we'll slowly come on back up. Come up to stand. Turn the left toes in, hands to the hips, wide leg forward fold. Inhale, lift the heart up, and then as you exhale, come on in. Fingertips down, lengthen the spine as you inhale, and as you exhale, fold in half. Let it all go. Maybe grabbing onto the legs, the feet, the toes, or any variation. If you practice inversions, you can always go into a tripod headstand from here. And if you're forward folding, squeeze the inner thighs together, shift the weight a little bit forward, and take another breath or two. Release the fingertips down, inhale, lengthen the spine, and then we'll walk the hands over to the left foot, spin the left toes forward, come up on the right toes, we'll take our gentle twist. Right hand down this time, left arm reaches up, rotate into the upper back, and breathe here. One more breath. Left hand down, step back to plank pose. Left foot meets the right foot. All right, options, knees up or down. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, open the heart. And exhale, send it back, down dog or child's pose. And we'll rest for 5 breaths. We'll make our way back to plank pose, and we're gonna lower all the way down to our bellies. So come on down. We'll set up for some belly down back bends. So untuck the toes, press the tops of the feet into the mat, reach the arms back. Pubic bone presses down. Sitting bones lengthen towards the backs of the knees. And then we'll inhale, lift up into Shalabhasana, locust pose. Reach the arms back. Maybe lift the legs up. Bring the big toes together. Heels splay out. Neck stays long, gaze is down. Breathing here. And then release down. Place one cheek on the mat. Coming up for round two, we'll set it up again. Arms reach back behind. Inhale, lift up, lift the heart, lift the arms, maybe lift the legs, and breathe here. Keep the pinky toes spinning down, inner thighs spin up. Neck long, spread the toes. Maybe lift up a little bit higher, one more breath. And then release down, place the other cheek on the mat, rest. All right, last back bend here. So you can come into Shalabhasana again, or we'll come into bow pose. Let's bend the knees, reach back. Now, if you have any knee issues, this might bother them, so you can just come into what we already took. Otherwise, you'll grab the feet. Walk the knees in so they're together. They will splay out, but try to keep them no wider than hips distance. And then when you're ready, you'll kick the feet back, lift the heart, and breathe. Push the shoulder blades into the back of the heart. Spread the toes. Again, keep those knees hugging in towards each other. One more breath here. And then release. This time, make a little pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead down, bend your knees, and windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Release the legs, hands by the lower ribs. Press back into a child's pose. And for this variation, let's walk the knees in. Press the belly down and reach the arms back behind. Head comes down to the mat or block. And then slowly walk yourself up. Cross the ankles behind us. Sit ourselves back behind the legs. Back behind the heels. Bring the legs out in front, and then we'll come into some seated stretches. So we'll come into Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together, letting the knees fall wide. Open the soles of the feet towards the ceiling or the sky. Sit yourself up tall. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, hinge forward, come in. Now keep length through the spine, but if you want to relax the head down, you can just let it go, only if that feels good. Take 5 breaths here. Slowly walk yourself up. We'll extend the legs out to the side. Wide-legged fold here. So sit yourself up tall. Flex the ankles back, and if you feel enough sensation, you can stay right up. If you want a little bit more, you can bring the hands out in front and begin to walk yourself in. But again, keep those toes pointed back towards you. And I can feel a fantastic stretch right here. If you come all the way down, you come all the way down, great. It's not about how deep you go, just as long as you feel a stretch, and breathe. Soften the shoulders. Relax the jaw. Deepest breaths you've taken all day. Slowly walk yourself back up. Let's bring the hands underneath the knees. Guide the legs together. We'll come in for one more forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So straighten out the legs. You can have a slight bend in the knees if it helps you lengthen the spine. Try not to round down though. So if you are rounding, just bend the knees a little bit, or you can sit the hips up on something. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, keep all that length in the spine and hinge forward. Then just grab whatever you can grab. Today it's the shins for me, might be the feet, might be the thighs, might grab a strap or a towel. Just breathe here into your forward fold. And then gently roll yourself up and we'll make our way all the way down onto our backs. So we'll come on down slowly. If you want to work the core, you can come down really slowly, bending the knees, planting the feet on the mat, and slowly rolling yourself down. All right, hug the right knee in, straighten the left leg out, point the left toes up, and take a breath here as you draw the knee in towards that armpit. And we'll come in for our twist. So you can take the right knee and just cross it over. If you want to move in a little deeper, you can bend the left knee, cross the right knee over the left knee, arms to a T or cactus the arms out, bump the hips a little bit to the right, and then let the legs fall to the left. Gazing out over the right shoulder, if that feels okay on the neck. Right shoulder presses down firmly as the belly spins up. Release the legs back to center. One across, and we'll hug the left knee in. Straighten the right leg out, point those right toes up. Breathing here as you hug the left knee towards that armpit. Soften the shoulders and relax the jaw. An option to guide the left knee over, or you'll bend the right knee, cross the left knee on top of the right. Bump the hips a little bit to the left as you let the legs fall over to the right. Gazing over the left shoulder, if that's okay on the neck. And grounding that left shoulder firmly down. Turning back to center. Release the legs. We'll come in for a full happy baby. So grabbing onto the outer edges of the feet or hooking the big toes. As you come in, feel the spine lengthen. Maybe rock a little side to side. Notice how the hips feel. Notice how the body feels. Notice how the breath feels. And making our way into our final resting pose. Coming into Shavasana, extending the legs out, letting the feet flop open. Arms come alongside the body, palms face up. The most important pose of our practice. Take a moment here to relax the feet. Legs are heavy, hips relaxed, belly, chest, back, press down, shoulders soft, Arms, hands, fingers, release. Relax the muscles in the face, releasing the jaw, softening the muscles around the eyes, smoothing the brow, and then relaxing the body as a whole. Take a big breath in through the nostrils. Fill yourself up with air. Big breath in. As you exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. Come to natural breath. Quiet minds, quiet bodies. Shavasana, rest. Take a slightly deeper breath. And bring some movement back to the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes, rolling up the wrists and the ankles. If you would like to stay in your Shavasana longer, please just press pause, stay as long as you wish. Otherwise, stretch the arms overhead. Take a long full body stretch. Tuck the knees in. Roll yourself off to one side, resting here for a moment, coming back to your intention. And thank yourself for showing up, taking your practice. Gently press yourself up to any comfortable seated pose, making sure to lengthen the spine. Bringing the palms together in front of the heart, closing the eyes. Taking a moment here to notice how you feel in your body. Lift the heart up, bow the head in. Thank you all so much for letting me share my practice. Namaste. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. Again, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and a happy Father's Day to all the daddies out there. So enjoy your day and hope to see you back on your mat soon. Have a great one.